It's Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. White in the building.
Yo.
How are you?
Tired. Meanwhile, before I go on, Bros Dots, happy birthday. My cousin, Dr. Ransom Kuti,
Nice.
Dr. Ransom Kuti is 64.
Wow.
You know, out of all the cousins, he's first. Then me, then Yomi too is August. We're all 64.
Wow.
So, Bros Dots this year. Happy birthday.
See, 64 is looking at you like this. Your 64 is
I'm
looking
already
at you.
there.
What a
blessing. I mean, my 64th year, once I hit 64 like this, is 65.
Yeah. And then 70 is in front of you.
Hey, amen. I hope I can still wear shoes at 70.
I'm sure you will.
You are giving us hope, Seth.
I'm going to wear, if there anybody that like any Christian father or Christian mother, I'm wearing mini skirt.
Okay, it's coming this 7th year. Which country should we go to? We can't do it in Lagos. We have to find a nice country.
Let us enter 64 first.
Meanwhile,
we had a very exhausting weekend. I took the family to the beach.
nice.
So I have to thank Lag Ferry because they gave me a good discount and they really treated us very well on the boats. They gave us, and a lot of the family were first-time beachers. They've never been to the beach before.
Okay. So they really had a good time.
Before. They had a good time at the beach. I'm not going to review them.
Oh, they didn't do well.
I know they did well. No, the beach house was lovely.
Okay.
Oh man,
Beach house is always very nice.
It was very, very nice. The kids had.
Let me greet Ramatu so that we know she came, but we know that you're into the beach house.
You enjoyed yourself.
Okay. Ramatu, how you doing?
I want to hear them small.
I'm doing very well. Okay, so it was just a production week, mostly weekend. We went into production and also went for sales.
It's a production.
All this injection, production of my oil, yes, my groundnut oil, the acha and all, and I'm packaging them. Acha, fonio acha is actually it's a small, tiny grain. And they grow it in the north. It's like gari, yes, it's like rice, but very, very, very nice.
So you can turn it like a bar.
You can turn it like a bar. So you can replace your rice diet. So if you are diabetic, it's very good for people with diabetes.
Really? I was listening to someone talking about it on the radio.
Yes, this morning.
I will buy you.
Yes, it's very, very nice.
I'm not diabetic, but
it helps you with weight loss. It helps you with weight loss. Yes, it helps you with weight loss if you want to lose weight, and also it's a fiber. It has much fiber in it. Yes,
Amara was very good.
I
never sold acha to us.
I don't sell acha.
As in, you have mentioned acha.
She has eaten a lot of it, of course. She has eaten, and the pate is very nice. That's the porridge. Very nice and very.
You also do it with porridge as porridge?
Yes, you did as porridge. Like soup.
I put it on my social media when my mom made it. I did one GOTV with achas on
please, let me see.
Very, very nice.
Okay, cool.
The beautiful Miriam. Oh my God, your hair is
amazing. You know Mike is going to do that.
Giving, man.
Thank you, my pyramid of Giza.
In fact, anytime I see any kind of hairstyle like this, I save it for her. And I'm like, this is Miriam. This is Miriam. I'm going to give it to her.
You see how all those wigs don't give. Oh my gosh. I rest my case.
I'm still here.
I was somewhere yesterday, and somebody that we all know was. She says now she's doing braids, and she was like, she knows YK can't stand, wigs and everything. Like, your reputation precedes you, YK, when it comes to that. But yeah, I just wanted to share a fun fact that I've been seeing a bit of lately, and it's talking about how human beings are evolving. And they're saying that a lot of people are going to the dentist now and having their last teeth, the last two, the molars removed, because our faces can no longer accommodate our full, complete teeth. And the reason why is that now, unlike before, we're raised to eat softer food. So we're not growing our jaws anymore. So our faces don't have like proper jaws. Most human beings now have slimmer jaws because we don't eat strong whatever. Anyway,
which one is strong food?
I went to go and charter biscuit bone for me and my children because they must build those jaws. That is very important. But a lot of people have been reading about it. Yeah, but it's interesting.
Everybody come up with them.
No, it's not everybody. It's evolution. Yeah. Before you know it, there'll be less and less.
They'll not tell you, they'll tell you something else.
They'll tell you something
else. There are actually some parts of our bodies that we don't have that generations before us had. you know, that they use.
Giants.
There's a way that our legs are now, our feet are now, that's different from the way it used to be because they use their legs more, you know. So things like, it's just good to know that you are right in the middle of an evolution that's happening. Okay. I just think it's fun. It's fun fact.
Now that I know the evolution matters. But let's go on a very short break. When we come back, we'll look at the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We'll be right back.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes
has become an important part of contemporary relationships. But when it comes to appreciating the people in our lives, is it advisable to put our whole business online? What is social media display of affection?
When man and woman will not let us have peace on the gram. Each day you see them cuddling and kissing and writing epistles like they don't have fights in their house.
You guys are you're entertaining me, I'm laughing, I'm liking, I'm moving on.
Would you call out your partner on social media for cheating?
No, I will not do.
Why would you even do that in the first place? Because you want the world to know that your partner has cheated. Okay.
Social media is not a real place. People are just always chatting. People that don't have a life, maybe borrow the data, will not be giving me advice. Hell no.
Nobody really gives a about you on social media. Not the funniest part, people just sleeping in the morning, they're showing us how they're kissing their partner. What's my business?
So it's the same way you take your business to social media. Maybe you're traveling, you take it to social media. Why is your relationship exempt from that? It's a part of your life, so why are you hiding it?
Why are you even taking your trip to social media? You've not heard of village people.
It's Battle of the Sexes, guys.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with The Nation. Supreme Court dismisses Fubara's appeal against 26 lawmakers. Dangote Peugeot begins 3008 GT assembly in Kaduna. Okpebolo calls one witness, closes case before tribunal. Moody's, U.S. may slash injection to World Bank. Atiku Imoke Tamboa meets Obasanjo in Abeokuta. JAMO case on the 16 WIS kids for 2025 UTME. And Kanu rejects judge again. Court adjourns case indefinitely. Okay, which story? Should I start with the Dangote story?
Okay.
So, looking like we're going to become United States of Dangote because Dangote Peugeot Automobile Nigeria Limited has commenced the assembly of the GT model of the Peugeot 3008 at its Kaduna plant as the automaker concludes arrangements to reintroduce Peugeot Landtrek 4x2 pickup into the light commercial segment of the market. If you recall, Peugeot was quite popular in the 80s and 90s, and Dangote, the richest man in Africa, also is jointly its own alongside there are two companies. I think is Automobiles Nigeria is jointly owned by Dangote, owned by the richest man in Africa, and also I'm trying to find the other person. But point is that he's also they are assembling these Peugeots to be sold into the market very soon. The new 3008 GT is joining the existing made in Nigeria Peugeot range and includes the popular 301 sedan and 508 a large 7-seater known for its spacious interior, stylish design and modern technology. I'm just quite impressed, or am I impressed? But I'm really amazed at how Dangote is quite versatile with all these various investments. He's doing sugar, he's doing flour, he's doing cement.
That's his MO.
For refinery now, he's assembling. We went to go and buy, Pojo was in Nigeria for many years, and so he's bought shares in that company, and now they're going to be assembling the new Peugeot model in Nigeria.
I like quite Dangote. He's a brutal business guy.
The air we breathe will be by Dangote. I'm telling you.
I have Jam clears on the 16 Whiz Kids for 2025. Whiz as in WHIZ, not Whiskid. So they said exceptionally gifted children who are below 16 will be allowed to take Jam. UTME exams, of course, conducted by JAM. This is according to the registrar. So the registrar explained that the national minimum admissible age remains 16, and that any candidate below 16 years by September would not be considered for admission. He added that this is about complying with the law. Age has a lot to do with maturity in terms of what we do. Age can't be discarded, otherwise you wouldn't be prescribing that before you can become a local government chairperson. You must have attained a certain age, or even a child of 5 or 10 years could aspire to that office. So biological age has a lot to do with the level of development of the intellect. There are so many things that have been said, but there are exceptions to the rule. So he says that this is the rule, 16 years minimum age. But he also understands, they also understand that there are people who are different, and these exceptionally gifted children. And so because of that, it will be unfair, of course, to discard them and not, pay attention to them. So because of that, they're going to allow allow them to write these exams, but they'll have to prove that they are indeed exceptional. He said that first he said there will be so many criteria we'll look at if you're under 16. First, your records should show that you're exceptional. If you take UTME, for instance, and you score 200 or 400, how do you call yourself an exceptional candidate? But if you score 80%, that is giving us a signal that this person is really exceptional. And then he also lamented that private universities have been encouraging underage admissions, and that most of their intakes end up being migrated to other programs because of poor standing. And that's something that we know of, where it seems like the private universities are just concerned about who is ready to pay their fees without paying attention to age, which as we know is very related to development and our intellect. Yeah, so in addition to that news, he said that that the benchmark has to be 320 over 400. JAM is over 400. So he said that you must be exceptional to once you get 320. That means you are good and you can get admission.
So I was going to take the story of the former vice president, Atiku Abubakar, visiting Olusegun Obasanjo, the former president also, and his direct boss. He went with Laila Moke, Abdul Ahmed Ningi, and Tambua. But when they were in the meeting for 2 hours. The press now asked them, "Oh, was it about the 2027 elections?" He says, "No, it's not about the 27. It was just a courtesy visit." But the paper now recalled that he went there when it was for the 2023 for his support. But Obasanjo openly supported Peter Obi. So, but he says it's purely courtesy.
Okay, so I have the illegal workers face ban in the UK. They said the United Kingdom Prime Minister Keir Starmer has promised tougher measures, sorry if I did not pronounce the name properly, measures to address the growing number of illegal foreign workers in the country. In quote, he said too many people are able to come to the UK and work illegally, and now he said they are putting an end to it. And meanwhile, all the analysts there are saying that his approach is firm but fair, unlike the Rishi Sunak, his predecessor, and Kemi Badenoch, leader of the Conservative Party, our dear sister. So he's now saying that they are now saying that the Prime Minister is to apply more pressure on his policies to retain his popularity. So he's doing that so that at least he can be recognized and say, okay, he's actually doing something. But they are saying that he is fair in his own judgments. And so if you are illegal, if you are in the UK and you are you don't have your right papers, you may be affected very soon with this law.
Okay. Let me go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Confidence is important in life's little moments. Strong teeth can help, even if they get her into trouble sometimes. A great smile is useful to break the ice, and making friends is easier.
All is seen but not known, for when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
My 20 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
Okay, that's all we can take. I choose to close the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
Thanks for staying with us. We're moving on now to Punch 2027 Obasanjo article. Others meeting. No threat, says APC. Uber driver killed, body dumped on Lagos road. Why Rivers withdrew Supreme Court's appeal against pro-Wike lawmakers, according to Fubara. Edo Tribunal, Pabelo closes defense as lone witness admits overvoting. 800 surrendered Boko Haram's militants undergoing de-radicalization, says defense headquarters. Courts adjourn indefinitely as Kano demands case transfer to Southeast. And hospitals groan over deaths as FGE 50% power subsidy delays. Okay, let me start with the Nnamdi Kanu story. So, if you recall, last year, September, Nnamdi Kanu had insisted that the judge, Justice Nyako, recused herself from his case, and she had actually accepted to do so. So she then forwarded a request to her boss as the chief judge, who then refused, saying that you've been doing this case since 2015. There's no way, you're the only person that can actually continue this case. So he refused to make her step down from that case. Now, fast forward, Nnamdi Kanu had a case in January where his lawyers had said that he's not going to come to court to face Justice Nyako again. Anyways, so the drama that happened yesterday was that when he came to court, both lawyers were going back and forth on, okay, do we need to do a new request to the chief judge saying that we don't want Justice Nyako. In all that, Nnamdi Kanu stood up and said that he insists that he had requested for her to recuse herself from that case, and she had accepted, and that stands. Therefore, he's not going to stay, he's not going to have her continue his trial. And if he cannot find an appropriate judge in Abuja, they should take his case to the Southeast. So that was pretty much what the condemnation was about yesterday.
I don't know much about the law, but for me, it seems fair. If you recused yourself, I don't see why you
Yeah, but she sent to her boss, and her boss says no. Okay, stay on. That's the chief judge says you stay on because you've been doing this case since 2015.
The chief judge asked him to write formally, saying he didn't want Nyako anymore.
Okay.
Meanwhile, his lawyers are saying no, you don't have to write it. She's already recused herself, so it doesn't matter. She doesn't have to write a formal, or he doesn't have to write a formal letter. It's just it's just so messy. I had wished and hoped that they would settle out of court, come to some arrangement with Kanu, and let this matter be over.
Everybody's interested in the story, so I don't think settling out of court.
They're very sensitive.
There's a very sensitive
story, you know.
Okay.
So I have hospitals groaning over the debts that they owe the power.
UCH.
Yes. So the promise so the federal government have promised to subsidize the cost of electricity in health institutions, and they're saying that it is yet to have, to materialize, and hospitals are groaning over the electricity debts. Students of UCH, University College Hospital, Ibadan, staged the protest after over 100 days of power outages due to disconnection. That is really bad. I mean, 100 days. They're saying the government is yet to commence the 50% subsidy of the monthly electricity tariffs of these hospitals. The Minister for Power says that government would subsidize electricity in hospitals and universities, even if they are on Band A feeders. However, government would not subsidize private businesses operating in these hospitals. So he said that there are hospitals, especially hospitals and schools, that there are businesses within these hospitals who charge customers, full, and they expect to be subsidized. He says what he wants now is that they do a proper search, meter every business or every institution within the health and educational institutions, and then each one of these businesses would be billed directly, and then the hospitals themselves and the schools themselves are the ones that will enjoy the subsidy, but that has to be done first before they do
because many of those businesses took advantage of it, and many of them are the ones actually piling up the bills.
Okay, so I have the 800 surrendered Boko Haram's militants undergoing de-radicalization. They say the defense headquarters has revealed that 800 former Boko Haram fighters who voluntarily surrendered to the military are currently undergoing de-radicalization as part of efforts to integrate them into the society. They said before it was 129,000 Boko Haram fighters and their families had so far surrendered. So it was out of these 129,000, The surrendered individuals are subjected to legal scrutiny. Some were found guilty and they're going to face prosecution, and while the others are going to go the rehabilitations and are placed in these programs. So they said out of the 129,800, 800 of them are going to go through this program. So the programs, they said the program is handled by professionals under Operation Safe Corridor, a non-kinetic approach to combating terrorism. They said it's a 1-year period, that the 1-year period is sufficient enough depending on the people handling. So they said the 1 year is enough for them to be able to, you know, put them in the right path before they now push them into the society. And I don't think, well, let me just keep my opinion to myself.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I have the Uber driver that was killed. So the Lagos State chapter of the Amalgamated Union of App-Based Transporters of Nigeria have mourned the death of their 42-year-old e-hailing driver, Yusufat Ayinde. He was stabbed to death after they had called him. The customers had called him, the passengers. When he got there, there were hoodlums and they stabbed him and took his car. They dumped him on Agidimbi Road. So they, yeah, very tragic. Doing his job, you know. Very sad.
Come for food.
And so they are calling for more safety for the drivers, you know.
Okay. Daily Sun, very quickly. Opposition intensifies major plan ahead 2027. Supreme Court reserves judgment on 4 appeals on the Rivers political crisis. Edo Election Tribunal, Governor Kwebolo closes case and hopeful. Nwanyahu's family reveals cause of death. And UCH power outage, UI College of Medicine students protest as minister visits. Okay, any story? Who has the Nwanyahu family story?
Yeah, I took the story. So his son, his eldest son, Jide Chuku, said his father had suffered emotionally. He said just before he fell ill, he went to the DSS headquarters to visit Nnamdi Kanu, but they didn't let him drive. So he had to get down and do a 20-minute walk, and that he was old. So he got there and he spoke with Kanu, and his wish was for everything to be settled. So it was the next day that he fell ill and he was taken to the hospital where he subsequently died. He didn't say how long from that day, but he was just begging again for the release of Kanu and saying that was his father's wish.
All right, Vanguard. Hardship. Many governors desert states to live in Abuja, says NLC. States now mandate drug tests for appointees and employees, says NDLEA. PDP crisis legal advisor throws weight behind Ude Okoye. Okay, which story?
I take NLC.
Okay.
So the Nigeria Labour Congress yesterday lamented that most governors abandon their states and live permanently in Abuja while the people they're supposed to govern are facing hardship. So they said that the president of NLC, Mr. Joe Ajero, had appeared at a town hall meeting with he was at a town hall meeting with workers at the NLC secretariat in Lokoja, and they were there to deliver and commission 10 compressed natural gas buses provided to the state chapter by the Congress to help ease, transportation problem. And then also while they were at the meeting, it was an opportunity to sit with workers so that they can talk about some of the issues that they are facing, and then they would then take these issues and demands to the governors. And he says of the 5 zones they've been at, they've only been able to see 1 governor. All the other governors were out of state. And he says, how do you do this then? How is it that you are a governor of a state, you're not there, your people are facing all sorts of issues? They have even told us, we can't even take the issues that they have told us to you because you're not there. Maybe, yes, eventually we'll give it, we'll send the message through a representative, but of course it's a big problem. It's a big issue. I like that they highlighted it, and I like this NLC. Do you understand? These are the issues I feel that NLC should really carry on its head. Really, we need to talk to these governors because we've heard this too many times. We know of governors and all sorts of other representatives that would not sit in the area of their primary assignment, but find like cushy areas, that other governors or other representatives have worked hard for, and they will go there and be putting all their time. Meanwhile, there are people that going through all sorts of issues.
They are going for their federal allocation.
Exactly.
If they don't go and sit there, they won't get it in time.
I'm not sure there's okay. Nigerian Tribune, let's just find one story. NDLA declares 4 members of Barry Shine drug cartel wanted over cocaine shipment to Saudi Arabia and Qatar. I'm sure you have that story.
Yeah, I do.
I have the
time.
Just a few seconds. Go ahead.
Okay, so I have the NLNG plant location. That's the Pan Niger Delta Forum. That's PANDEF has chided the federal government for locating mini liquefied natural gas plants in Ajakuta, Kogi State, describing it as a misplaced priority in the first instance and denying the Niger Delta region what could have aided its development even faster. They also said that all these offices are supposed to be close to the Niger Delta, where the raw materials are very close to them. They also said that NNPC and its management continue to pursue very unfair policies towards the South-South zone. So they are now calling on the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to direct the National Oil Company to redress the situation.
Okay, that's all we can take on Front Page Review this morning. When we come back, move on to our next segment. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah, but do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back?
You should start the gym to get getting fat.
Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer,
you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make a relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the person you Jesus? What's his name?
That woman.
Bam! Bam!
Yeah,
Today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's catch up.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. Entertainment for pure entertainment.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Brand new studio, brand new set, a new face, but still your favorite breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria.
It's a fresh new energy, new vibe. You smell that?
Now that's the smell of tasty, tantalizing food from our various chefs.
And when it comes to sports updates with insightful analysis, the place you want to be is Wake Up Nigeria.
That's right. Every second there's a fresh occurrence, and every minute there's a story to tell. Keep abreast of happening locally and internationally via the news updates of Wake Up Nigeria.
It's live camera fashion, where we strut, slay, and sashay, and keep you updated with all the latest fashion trends.
Level up your morning.
Watch Wake Up Nigeria, where every morning begins with a spark. Valentine's season is here and love is in the air. Guess what? Your View is kicking off 2025 with a bang, hosting our first ever live show on the 14th of February 2025 at the brand new TVC Communications Eco Atlantic Studios. You want to be a part of the magic? It's simple. Secure your seat now by registering online. Just send us your name, phone number, and tell us why you would love to join the fun. Get ready for hot conversations, fresh perspectives, and a chance to share your own view on trending topics. And oh, did we mention we have tons of gifts up for grabs? Don't let anything ruin your Valentine's Day. Join us for love, laughter, and lots of unforgettable moments. See you there.
doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Thanks for staying with us. So, this week is the week of love. On Friday, we'll be celebrating Valentine's, and usually is a time where the world stops to remember this issue of love and show love to their loved ones and express love in different ways. But one of the things I'd like us to talk about today is, does love really do exist? Does it still exist in the midst of all the drama that's been happening on social media in the past 1 week? We've had issues with Two-Face Idibia, we've had issues with the pastor Paul Unwo Kocha, who's saying that he divorced or he left his wife, or he's leaving his wife because she did some abominable things. Two-Face, who we thought was in love with this beautiful woman who we all loved, and suddenly we're finding out that there's a possibility he's in a relationship with somebody else, and that they've been separate for a while, and we're thinking, does love still exist in this our world? I mean, should we reconsider this thing that we used to read in Mills and Bone? Should we redefine it today in today's terms? Because in many homes, there's a lot of pretense. People pretend to stay together to be truly in love. But the reality is that many homes, many relationships, many relationships are based on some kind of a transaction. You are there because you do something for me. I'm there because I get something from you. So putting all these various stories in perspective, and especially because we're supposed to be celebrating love this week, does true love really do exist in your own view? Ramatu, would you like to start?
Okay, so I think, yeah, true love does exist. What is now becoming shaky is unconditional love. Because these days, it seems like everybody's loving each other for a reason. And once there's a problem, once one thing or the other starts happening, everybody starts, of course, the love starts having conditions. There is a reason why I'm loving this person and all whatnot. So I think most of us, we go into marriage with a lot of expectations. And once our expectations are not met, that's where we'll now start having, issues and all. right now, like this guy now that we just mentioned, that said they're saying that he will send the woman out.
Pastor.
All I can see from all he's saying is, first of all, I have a problem with everybody trying to come to social media just to justify reason why their marriage is not working. You know, come out there and come and say, I'm no longer with this person and all. When you were getting married, you were not there. When the times were so good, you were rosy, enjoying yourself, we're not there. But once it's bad, you come to social media and start expressing yourself and telling us why. All I can see from what he's saying, I just see insecurity in the whole thing. If your wife has done something really wrong, I don't think coming out to social media to come and start saying this is what she has done is the solution to the whole thing, or will make anybody out there to see you in a different light.
You know, when I was using the word "the love exists," what I meant was that when I was trying to connect it to this Pastor Paul saying that his wife did something abominable. Now, when you talk about love, can anything be abominable? Because you think that love forgives, love endures, love is there. Love, you know, there's something that even if your spouse commits adultery or something, there's somewhere where you can, you know what, we can rebuild this. So I'm thinking, what is abominable? So let me come to you. This is your love. Does these things really exist? Let me come to you, Mariam.
I believe that true love exists, and I believe that it still exists. One thing, of course, with social media, with media in general, or with trending news, is that when something is not working, that's when we hear about it. When it's working, people are not really interested. It's boring news. But I do believe that it exists. And what is true love, really? Because a lot of people think it's just when you meet someone and everything is going perfect. True love is when, even when you're going through challenges, when the person has done something that you would consider the most hateful, you know, you're willing to walk through it with them until you finally come back, you know, to where we are. But yes, you're right. Based on many of the stories that we hear, it seems like that is lost. We've forgotten it. And I think that has a lot to do with also the foundation. There's just this spirit and this materialistic way and transactional way that we're viewing the world and relationships these days. And of course, when you are transactional or materialistic, when that fails, the only way to deal with something that was a transaction, if it does not work, is to throw it away. Because a transaction is supposed to pay you. I give you this, you give me that. If it does not work, you throw it out. So that's why we're hearing more and more of that. So usually when I hear things like that, I want to find out what the foundation was like. Now, is there anything that can be abominable? I feel like some things can be. Pedophilia is abominable. If I'm married to you, no matter how much I love you, God forbid, I find that you are abusing my children, nothing in this world, I can never forgive that. I can, you know, forgive you and let God and the Lord deal with you, but you can't do anything. So, but some of the things that we hear, abominable, like infidelity, it is terrible, but I think it's forgivable. You know, I think someone had posted that Jesus himself, when a woman was caught during adultery, he said, "He who is without sin cast the first stone." So he recognizes that we're all flawed, you know, we all commit sin, we all break each other's hearts, we all do things to each other that, you know, that at some point may feel unforgivable, but we can forgive. At least infidelity, I feel like for many men, that's what they carry on their head, like,
everything
but
else
yes, yes, but we can, I believe that if the other party is willing and is truly sorry and is taking accountability for their actions, that can be resolved. But because the foundation in itself, it wasn't based on true love, it wasn't based on them loving each other and wanting the best for each other. It's like, this thing is spoiled, please throw it away, I don't have anything to do with it. That's why we're hearing all these stories.
Let me come to you. I mean, let's start with the original question. Do you still think this love thing exists?
Yes, so I think it still exists. I mean, I love my partner, and
I love my husband.
So, I mean, I don't think... maybe there are some... Like this pastor, for instance, well, what he says is what I read that he's supposed to have seen his wife do. I guess he feels he can't forgive that. I would find it difficult to forgive someone for that kind of thing. So it's not that it doesn't exist, but yeah, there are sins that you can say, okay, I can't call it sin because it's against our Creator that we sin. I can't sin against a fellow human being, but you can offend me, and it's that offense that maybe I can't forgive. So it's not that it doesn't exist, but because I mean I don't want to put the relationship in full view of it. But when I see my nephew and his wife, the way they do each other.
Okay, so YK, let me now bring that conversation to where you are, because there are lots of people who are considering what you have, YK. They're saying that they'd rather have a partner who they can truly love than have a marriage, because this marriage kind of ties people down. Because now, like a two-phase, I mean, the whole drama that happened, many people are saying, is this thing we call marriage that makes you feel like this is it? And it kind of cages people. But if we have a situation whereby we are committed to each other, we are two responsible adults, say, you know what, we don't need any document or any imam or pastor to tie us. We are two adults. I'd rather that than knowing that I'm tied to somebody. That many homes or many people are considering partnerships than proper marriage. What do you think about that?
Okay, for me, well, YK has like the full. She can tell us how it's different, because I see her and I don't see what she's doing that is different from what married people are doing.
Well, she has her weekends to herself. She wants to. She doesn't want to see somebody's face. Yeah, I don't want to see you this weekend, and she's fine.
Yeah, but there are some marriages that work that way. Yeah. There's some marriages that the husbands and wives don't even see each other for years until when somebody travels to see another person. There's another marriage that works, you know, only at weekends they get to see each other. The only difference is that the paper was not signed. So sometimes I think when it works, like in partnerships, when it works, for me, it just looks like marriage.
But it's psychological also. When you know that, listen, if I need to move, I gotta move.
So that's what I was going to say. So for me, maybe the difference is with marriage, that signing says, for me, it's like, I pre-forgive you for whatever that may come. Whatever it is that may happen in the future, I have decided that we will deal with it within marriage. I think with partnership, it opens the options that if you do something, at least there's nothing tying me to you, I can walk away. So it's like the marriage seems more like a commitment, recognizing that the differences that we have or some of the challenges that we have, we are going to sort it out because this is forever. But the partnership recognizes that I can just walk away whenever I feel like. And honestly, even when as I'm talking about it, I still don't see what the difference is, because now we have what we have the option of divorce. If it's so terrible, if it cannot work out.
In Christendom, you don't allow us to be divorced.
But even in Christendom, they say if you are unfaithful, you can divorce. So it's, you know, so we can, you know, you can. But I just feel that these differences don't matter if it works. And you have to want to make partnerships or marriages. If you're not committed to each other, neither of it will work, and none will fail.
That's the key word you said, commitment. Because no matter what happens between two, we cannot just walk away from each other, because we have been together like 17, 18 years. I can't even remember how many years, but we've been together quite for a number of years, so we cannot just walk away from each other. There has to be something really major. So even though we haven't signed any paper, it's not something that I can just say, you have annoyed me, I'm going, or you say, I've annoyed. No, you know, so it's commitment. So that's the key word. So even in marriages, people walk away from marriages. I walked away from my first marriage, you know, because I wasn't happy and I was not, and I left. And people, and there was everybody came to talk to me, and I was looking at everybody like this. Nothing. So people walk away. Nobody is tied down. It is whether you are committed spiritually and in your mind.
Okay, so I think partnerships works mostly when you are older, kind of, and sometimes when you when you leave your marriage, you are now more experienced, and you know how to handle issues and conflicts when they come up. Like, okay, if, for example, if I put myself like in something like that and I leave the partnership, wherever, is going to be much better. I'm going to be, because from my experiences from there, yes, the experiences I have had at this point. Because in marriage, the thing is, all of us, we come together. Everybody wants to come and try to change the other person. Meanwhile, we're supposed to come as individuals. Yeah. This is Ramatu. She came. She likes this. This is what she likes. Yeah. And then this is this person. This is what he likes. Yeah.
That's the point. Anytime
he wants to do his own thing, let's respect that one and let him do it. And then whenever I want to do my own thing, let's respect that fact and do it. So with partnership, it's easy for you to do that. But in marriage, no. We're supposed to do it together. We have to meant to be one. You wear me, I want to wear my dress. Say, no, this is the wrapper that you are going to wear.
That is exactly why many people, and you're right, especially for second marriages, many people say, I've done the first one. I've left. Now the next one is not going to be a marriage, it's going to be a partnership. Because I am not going to this paper, let us try ourselves. No, I need that kind of independence because I'm a whole person. I've rebirthed myself. I'm stronger, I'm more knowledgeable, and I want somebody who is equally at my own level to be with me. And I don't want to go into his own terms. Both of us are coming on our own terms. So I'm seeing YK is a serious model. I will see, and a lot of people YK, at least I've known two people who have come to me and said, if I'm going to marry again, I'm going to do YK style.
Yes.
So YK, you probably started a movement a lot of people don't know. You started
the YK law.
The YK law. Because you have lots of people who are already considering because you are happy, you're glowing, YK. How many 64-year-old women are doing like this? It's hard to find it because many of them have been forced to stay in that Mr. and Mrs. Labaja, and they are there because they're there for mom, they're there for their children, they're there for security, they're there for different reasons. They're not whole. They've subsumed themselves into this family role or this wifey role. They're not YK. YK is her person. So we are now seeing you are like, maybe it's worth considering.
Listening to both of you now, I started saying I don't see what the difference is. And I think I see it now based on what you said. So the difference is that in marriage you're expected to be one. We're to become one. And we have romanticized it, and it's supposed to be we'll think alike, we'll do everything alike, right? And I remember as a young girl, I was sitting down with some of my friends, and then they were still in their honeymoon phase, and they used to always dress together, and I remember saying, this is the thing that scares me about marriage. I can't stand to dress the same. And they looked at me as if I was weird, like, what's wrong with you? And I used to also say that when I do get married, I would like to have like different rooms. So these are the things. And, thinking about it, my husband is in his second marriage with me, right? And I think he also came into this marriage with a very strong sense of individual self.
Yes.
I am who I am, and then allows me to be who I am. So I can now see the difference, really, if I will now compare it to two young, in love, fresh out of school or something, who have decided that they have to be in each other's skin and each other's being and everything. And so when something does not work for the other, it will be such an inconvenience at its best, or just gets really bad. So that is the difference. So maybe that oneness that we're talking about is not possible, it's not sustainable, and it should really be about two individuals knowing that they are strong differently, but then they meet at some different points for each other.
Exactly. Now we're going to break now. We'll come back. We'll now focus a bit on the Idibia story and even this, because these are two people. This young 15-year-old girl fell in love with this guy. All the drama happened. They got married, and then she felt like, okay, I'm now with you. But imagine if she was her person, have found her person, and then have a partnership with Two-Face. Maybe what they're going through right now will not be going through it. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Walk me through your last experience.
At first, it started really well, but then it ended badly.
think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
My 20 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
Okay, that's all we can take.
I choose
to close the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back?
You should start the gym to get fat.
Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer,
you're already almost naked.
You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better? You scissors. What is his name?
That woman.
Damn!
Today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's catch up.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay tuned. Entertainment for Pure Entertainment.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Brand new studio, brand new set, a new face, but still your favorite breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria.
It's a fresh new energy, new vibe. You smell that?
Now that's the smell of tasty, tantalizing food from our various chefs.
And when it comes to sports updates with insightful analysis, the place you want to be is Wake Up Nigeria.
That's right. Every second there's a fresh occurrence, and every minute there's a story to tell. Keep abreast of happening locally and internationally via the news updates of Wake Up Nigeria.
It's live camera fashion, where we strut, slay, and sachet, and keep you updated with all the latest fashion trends.
Level up your morning.
Watch Wake Up Nigeria, where every morning begins with a spark.
Valentine's season is here and love is in the air. Guess what? Your View is kicking off 2025 with a bang, hosting our first ever live show on the 14th of February 2025 at the brand new TVC Communications Eco Atlantic Studios. You want to be a part of the magic? It's simple. Secure your seat now by registering online. Just send us your name, phone number, and tell us why you would love to join the fun. Get ready for hot conversations, fresh perspectives, and a chance to share your own view on trending topics. And oh, did we mention we have tons of gifts up for grabs? Don't let anything ruin your Valentine's Day.
Thanks for staying with us. So before the break, we're discussing this issue of love, and we kind of delved into referencing Two-Face because of the fact that we're saying that many Nigerians, especially those who are looking for a second relationship or after their first divorce, are hoping to have partnerships. Nobody is really interested as much into having another marriage. Many eventually do, maybe after they've been together for like 18, 15 years, they can decide to tie the knot, but usually they prefer that individuality in their relationship. And we're now trying to take a step back, referencing the Two-Face Idibia story, because remember that Annie was a young girl who fell in love with this man, and then lots of things happened. He became a star. He now had other women in his life, and she had to be confronted with adult issues as a young woman. She practically didn't have a proper teenage life, and didn't have a proper young adult, dating, going out, movies and stuff. She was just locked on this guy. And many of us have always encouraged, because I know people that are saying that they want their children to get married at 2021, and I've always stood by the fact that you have no business getting married anytime before 26. Because I always feel like a young person needs to explore, do stuff, mature, live your life, find out who you are before you get married. But what are your thoughts on how, if getting into it early is the right thing to do?
Okay, so let me touch a bit on that Two-Face this time, because I heard a lot of people saying that she saw the red flag, that he was married before she got married to him and all of those things. A lot of times, most times, a lot of people get married with the intention that we know that this thing is the person is not so maybe behaves differently. But we go into marriage with the intention that this person may change along the line, because there are so many people who marriages have changed. They are very bad. At some point when they got married, they changed to be better. So it depends on where the marriage is meeting you up at. If it is meeting you at the point where, because I'll give you a typical example. There was this guy that I know. He was into drugs, like in the north there, all this codeine, all these things. Yeah. So he used to take it. And, the first thing they thought of is that let him get married. And immediately he got married. When he got married to this beautiful girl, he stopped. He stopped in marriage. So there are people, we don't even talk about all these things. It's always when we get married, you already know this red flag and all of it. Yes, you can know some of the red flags, but there's this anticipation and this hope that once you get married to this person is going to change this habit, or is going to be. And most times, a lot of people change.
Most times? I don't think so.
Sometimes.
It's
just because most of the stories are not out, but a lot it people change.
No. From most of the stories I've heard,
I don't know.
No, it only gets worse.
Some of the but you can't also know.
I can disguise it for a period just to get into the marriage, but eventually it will come out in some way or the other.
You need to buy my mother's book.
Yeah,
you know that nobody changes.
But you were saying about the right age to get married, and I remember as a teenager, my mom used to just have so many books. One of the books I read, I just wish I could remember the name, and the lady was talking about her life. She had been married before, married a college sweetheart, and then years down the line, the marriage broke down, and then when she turned 30, or was it 32, she remarried. And she said, based on her story, so she was saying the story that she would put the age for marriage, and for the type of marriage that we're having now, at 30, there used to be a time where getting married, yes, for women, she said there used to be a time when getting married was you meet a man to start a family, and you were content, and it was enough, or it was described as enough that you were with this man who provided everything for you. You gave birth to your 2.5 or 3 children, and that was it. But we are now in a situation where marriage is much more than that. He's not just the only provider, you also provide. Yeah. There's so many things that you're all, contributing to this marriage. So it requires someone of a certain maturity and capability. I mean, if you look at what we read in the papers, Jam also acknowledging that age has a lot to do with intellect and development and maturity. If that is important for examinations, imagine how important it is, even more important it is for marriage. So I think the later, the better. And also there's this thing that's going around now. A lot of people say that women have always been described as like having a time limit for anything. Like women, oh, you're only good until maybe 30s or 40s. After that, you're old cargo. Nobody wants you. You're not really relevant in the scheme of things. But there are studies showing that women who give birth in their 40s live longer. And they're more ready and developed and more prepared and equipped to raise children. I'm not pushing that. I'm just saying to you that a woman, there's no end to her.
Yeah.
And thank God to science and technology and things like that, women are finding, newer ways of sort of protecting their eggs and able to have children. So the important thing now is, because in marriage is what women are looking for is love, partnership, companionship. They're not just looking for a provider and who will pay for all my bills and everything. And I'm giving him children. They're looking for a partner, and when you're looking for a partner, there's so many things that need to work. And sometimes, until you reach that later years of your 20s, your late 20s or 30s, before you even know exactly who you are, what you want, and yeah.
Let me take Akin from Akute. Thanks for calling.
My area.
Good morning, Akin. Are you there? Hello, Akin. I think I lost that call.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to ask him if you had lights.
Hello, are you there? Akin?
Yes, I'm there.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah. This discussion of Valentine, I believe love is supposed to be celebrated every day. Now, is it that Valentine in question? It's not biblical at all.
Okay, we can't hear you anymore. Yes, we know Valentine is not biblical. Yeah, for those of us who are Christians, yes. I'm just saying this is a general day that people is celebrated around the world, or to highlight love and talk about love. But let me come to you, YK, because there's this thing that holds people when they say marriage is for life, and because marriage is for life, no matter what happens in that marriage, you want to hold on. Many people are sad, but because they've been raised, men and women alike, that this is for life. So because of that, that mindset is now almost like a cage for many homes, where even if you might not be abused, you might not have a verbally abusive wife or verbally abusive husband or whatever, but it's just something that you're just not happy. But because it's supposed to be for life, you can't get out. And that's where the idea of partnerships are. I mean, early days, why can you say that during the week sometimes, she doesn't feel like seeing Uncle Theo's face. She doesn't go and see him. She takes her out. She can travel, because she has her independence. She has her things in her house. She takes a few clothes to his place, come back, That independence sort of, it gives you that, it makes you you.
Yeah.
So my question is, in 2025, are we allowed to reevaluate the meaning of this thing called marriage? Must it be as in total, both of us must stay in the same house? Because I know, I'm almost the YK, because I know a family. Husband is in this house, wife is in this house. They live on 2 streets adjacent to each other. The kids they can go do breakfast in mommy's house. They can go to mom, daddy's house.
They're married,
and they are together. They are separated. No, they're married. Okay. They're married. Okay. But the two of them are always fighting.
So they can't live together.
They can't live together. The two of them are always fighting. So daddy has his house, mommy has her own house. And they alternate. So mommy can say, okay, let's take stew to your daddy's house. He doesn't have stew. Go and give him stew. But but they have that relationship. So she's whole, he's whole, and they're not fighting. So I'm just saying that these are various things we are seeing in 2025. We're thinking, okay, should we begin to re-examine? Because many people have stayed in these homes for years, and they're not living long.
Well, I think that first, if I was going to advise a young couple, the first thing I would tell both of them, keep your identity, know who you are, and stay true to who you are. Do not try and evolve into the other person.
Yeah.
You are not an alien. It is aliens that swallow people and then bring them out. Once you are human, keep your identity. I would advise them. That way their marriages would last. I think I'm not against marriage. I would never advise my young daughter or young niece or whoever not to get married. I would say find the person that will allow you to be you.
But you don't know who you are. until you are maybe in the 40s. Okay, that you in the 20s, you have no clue because you're also discovering yourself. You don't even know yet. So you now get to somebody, and then you realize that the you become is not compatible
anymore
with the person that you married.
And do you know what I even find interesting? Young couples, they say it like when they are dating their boyfriends, he's fine, he's okay. This I'm talking of couples in their 20s.
Yeah.
They say, but the moment you marry them, they talk about Nigerian young men especially. All of a sudden, they now have this, I am the man of the house. So the girl is always like, what happened? What happened? We were friends, we used to hang out. All of a sudden, I'm the man of the house because in his mind, all this, now that you are the man of the house, you put your feet down, you do this. Even if it's not part of him, he just feels that as a husband, I have to wear the role of this. And then it's advice.
Don't take advice from, that's one another major mistake. Is young couples taking advice from people who maybe in their mind their own marriage is going to have failed.
Yeah, they say don't talk. The girls will say don't talk to me like that. And she's like, who are you? Are we not? Why am I all of a sudden? Why am I not allowed to talk to you like that?
Yes. Yeah. They do. Look, I just don't want to go personal. Yeah. Because it happened to me.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to wait till I was 40 to know who I was. I knew who I was.
Yeah.
You know, and I was an independent woman. And when you come and say you want to lord it over me, it is a partnership. We are partners. It's not that I will not give you your respect as a man, but I'm not your slave. So a lot of men want slaves, not partners. Very important.
Okay, this thing you're saying is a very powerful thing. Because I would like to unpack it. Because a lot of men don't realize it. But the truth is that they just want somebody to have their kids, feed the kids, make sure the house is clean, sort out all the things that need to sort it out, and I'm the man. When I need to do the other room, I'll do the other room, but just be there.
Yes.
I don't need you to do anything else for me. Just be there. While I then go and live my life. A lot of men are like that.
Yes.
But they have not confronted, they have not faced the reality or to accept it. They rather just continue to pretend like, okay, I'm a family man, I like to, but you're really not. There's a lot you want to do outside, which you don't, society's not allowing you to do it. Society allows you to do it, but this is who you are. And you've done that and you fulfilled that, but the woman is not fulfilled where she is.
Yes.
Because, I've had the opportunity to speak lots of married women who send me messages on their DMs. In fact, some of them want to get close to me. They feel like they and I'm not an advisor. Nima is the advisor. Maybe she see, I'll just let Nima's nick. But she's the one that can listen to you. But for me, I can understand your story. But many women are frustrated and they feel like they've not found themselves, and it's because they entered this thing very early in life.
Yes.
They entered it with who they are not. They've not even met themselves. Now they're in their 40s and they feel like, and they're going for all these conferences where women have been empowered, they're educating themselves. Like this brother, bro, this is not it.
And it's true.
Bro is still living in the dark ages.
Like, for example,
I have my sword. I'm the warrior.
And I know there's a particular age a man gets.
Why are you standing?
He becomes very, very, he becomes adventurous. He wants to know what's happening and all of that. And then you are there, still come. Like especially the northerners, most of us, we marry very early. And a lot of us discover ourselves in the marriage most times. We begin to know ourselves and all. And meanwhile, the guy is already out there. Maybe he's working, he's doing a lot of things.
But we are told that your marriages last longer than ours.
I disagree.
How?
I disagree.
We can divorce at any slightest slightest provocation. Seki uku 3 times. 1, 2, 3, go.
You're done.
You're done.
You're blessed.
So
like you're
it depends on where they are divorcing you. Because if they
on your side in that regard.
Let me give you one gist. I have a friend, right? When we're in school, we're just in 200 level. When this guy loved her and everything, and said she should come and get married. She left school. I remember we're begging her. We said, please stay, because she got pregnant and she was always doing all those pregnancy stuff and all. She left school at 200 level. I went and got married to this guy. She got married to the guy. She has 5 kids. The guy married a second wife and he married a lawyer. And now anytime they have functions and all of that, he goes with the second wife. And you know what he says? Anytime she tells him that, why are you not going with me? She says, no, I can't go with you because you're a dropout. Do you see? So at the end of the day, she has lost herself in that aspect. So if you had divorced
So
her,
in that case, who do you blame?
in that case,
you blame?
You know,
Who do you
the thing
blame?
is, yeah. So who do you blame? She has not.
We have to wrap up
discovered
on this, but I mean, because we have another topic we need to do. But I think really, the conversation really is about examining love in this love season.
Yeah.
Let's be true to ourselves. I mean, does love exist? Many of us have said yes, it does.
Yeah, it does.
But how do we interpret it, therefore, to the issues we are having today in society? Some big marriages are breaking up. Some people are having issues, difficulties sustaining their marriages, and there are other people like YK giving us options, saying, okay, maybe this might be better. I mean, because I remember there was a woman who was literally crying when it was, I think it was my mom's funeral or something, where you came, and she was just staring at YK. This is an aunt. She was just staring that this woman is my age.
And
See how she's doing. I mean, YK was full. I think it was my mom's 70th birthday, where you're drinking your champagne and just you're just
Being happy. Although YK is another human being altogether. It may not even be the partnership.
This person was studying YK all through and came to me and was literally crying that she had the kind of life, she had the freedom, but because she was made to marry. I think she was the third wife of somebody, and the person she was the newest wife then, and then the guy now married 2 extra wives and totally forgot about her and had nothing. She had nothing. She's by herself. She's not independent. She's dependent on him. So the man has 5 wives and she has nothing, and she just feels depressed. Now she's stuck with her kids, so she just felt that I have lost myself. Yeah. And a lot of women are in that situation where they feel they've lost themselves. So why you are a star to a lot of women? You didn't lose yourself. Yes, you're in a relationship and you are happy, and people are saying that, oh my, I can still have a life at 64.
Yeah. But also, just to be clear, yes, there's some women who are happy like that within marriage.
Yes.
And so that's where the love comes in, where the man understands, for me, it would be the man understands that the woman also has her person and he will support her dreams. Do you understand? Not the one that says, there's no way you're moving. So you find those relationships where they support each other, that the woman is also thriving within marriage, and it seems...
Thanks for balancing it, because it's not all about that. There are other people who are actually in proper marriages and actually found themselves and they are happy in their 60s and they're looking good.
I wanted to add something. I wanted to say that happiness, right? Your happiness is your sole responsibility. Don't put your happiness on your partner. It's a lot of burden. Make yourself happy by yourself. It comes from you.
Okay, that's all we can take on this segment. We'll come up with our next topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Join us for love.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas. It shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty, erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor?
Thanks for staying with us. Before we bring in our guests, I was going to take a few comments on our last topic, so we just wrap up on that.
Yes.
Mara?
I have Chigozie Magdom says, marriage is diverse like culture. If you copy a foreign culture, chances are that it will backfire. Those emulating the Western system will never find peace in Africa. People should marry who values them and vice versa.
Okay, so somebody said that it's so difficult finding yourself. And that person said marriage is good, but certainly not everyone will get married. Some people will marry 5 different people and never get it right.
So Purple Iris, sorry, were you going to read something else?
It's okay. Go ahead.
Purple Iris School says the problem with the discussion is that we hear more of failed marriages than ones that are working. Only bad news we hear. God's standard of marriage will always work. And I really love that comment because it is true. When a marriage is working, nobody talks about it.
Yeah.
It's only when it's
down. Bad. That we highlight it. Okay, so moving on now to our next segment. So February 15th is the International Childhood Cancer Day, ICCD, and it is a global collaborative campaign that takes place every year to raise awareness about childhood cancer and to express support for children and adolescents with cancer, the survivors and their families also. As the world countdown to this year's commemoration, we have with us the Chief Operating Officer, the Dorcas Cancer Foundation, Korede Akindele, to tell us more about it. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
So we know, Dorcas Foundation is a friend of the house. We've been with you. You guys have been with us for many years, and we know the work you've done, especially children living with cancer. Tell us a bit about this year's theme and what it's about for raising awareness on children living with cancer.
All right, thank you so much, and then thank you for being with us for over the years. Okay, so this year the ICCD, the International Childhood Cancer Day, is focusing on inspiring action. Okay, so it's just basically to steer actions across the board for children, adolescents, and young adults, because that's our focus is now at the Dorcas Cancer Foundation. We've graduated just for children into adolescents and older. So we're trying as much as possible to steer every individual in the society to be part of childhood cancer care, childhood cancer awareness, and childhood cancer survivor project. And that's what we are doing. And then we are doing it through something we call the Zero campaign, where everybody has opportunity to contribute their quota to the care of childhood cancer so that children do not have to face medical bills. Again, that's how we are sharing action from our own hand. Okay. So based on what we are doing.
Okay, so this childhood cancer, do you have specific ones, like the specific cancers that you attend to, or you attend to all cancers?
For us, we attend to every cancer between children, adolescents, and young adults.
Okay.
What kind of cancer is more prevalent amongst kids in connection?
So for kids, as part of where we are here, we see more of brain cancers. Yes, we see more of brain cancers here. We see more of leukemia. Leukemia is more prevalent in our part of the world here. We see more of retinoblastoma. We see more of, we are beginning to see more of a brain cancer called medulloblastoma. That's the cancer of the brain, epidemioma. We see more of Wilms tumor. That's the cancer of the kidney. So these are prevalent cancers that happen among us here. But so much things that is important is picking the signs early and presenting these children, because today we talk about survivor because of cases that have been presented early and we've seen them come out of it. So
just based on what you've seen, and the work that you're doing, is there anything you think we're doing differently that's causing the prevalence of these cancers, or is it just life? And you said you're saying that bring children early when you see signs. The thing is, when you're a child, you don't think that a child is cancer. You think it's malaria or typhoid at most, or a headache. Like, when do you take a child? When do you start suspecting that your child may be suffering from something as sinister as cancer?
Okay, so let me just break it into two. The first question is there's nothing anybody's doing wrong that has caused this. Because I've seen parents, I've seen mothers say, okay, in fact, I've even seen someone that told us, like, when I was pregnant with this child, I'm not even taking pure water. Do you understand? Like, she was so like, so what did I do wrong? No, there is nothing that you do wrong. It's just a genetic that went wrong and then caused this. So the most important in a child, the common sickness is malaria, typhoid, and everybody look based on our environment that we have. But you know, when a child is sick, a child is sick. The child will let you know I'm sick, and you know in a child that the child is sick. So when you present cases, for example, let's look at cases of leukemia, which happen mostly like an infection. So we keep saying it that when you present these cases and it kept happening, you're coming out of hospital 6 months, 3 months, it's simple that you can tell your doctor, please, I'm not satisfied with this. If it is because Nigeria is a 3-cadre health system, primary, secondary and tertiary, so you could just say, can you refer me where I could see a specialist, a pediatrician. Normally it is a pediatrician that should see children, but because the way the systems work, it might not be. So refer, it's your child. You know what you want, so just refer. Don't just say, okay, let's keep treating this kind of illness. So it's good to be safe. And then when you see the specialist and say, no, it's not this disease, it's just this. So attention is all, constant illness needs attention. That's just the way out of it.
Tell us about some of the success stories of your foundation, because I know that you've tried to help a lot of children, and how has it been with the success stories?
All right, so this year is our 10th year.
Congratulations.
We are on the 10th year, and then we sat down and looked at it that we've been able to, till today, we are almost 150 children that we've supported at the foundation. I mean, as at the last count,
150 children.
150 children.
Well
from
who survived?
That we've supported. And then from Survivor, we have, I mean, close to like 15 that we can talk that has come through us. That we can, then but we have other survivors that we have bringing into our system. But our direct support from the beginning of our work till now, we are almost 150. And that for us is the land, because that's the call of our work. Yes, we now move it from not just treating children, we've now moved into early detection, survivorship, and afterlife, which is why we have created diverse program. And for example, our training program for early detection, which is the Look Again training program, that we are training to pick signs early. When you see this, and it's not just about picking signs, it's about referring to the appropriate place. And even after you refer, as the child start treatment, because one thing is to say, okay, go to this teaching hospital. So we try to ensure that after this child has been referred, we have an edict program that says, let treatment commence. Doctors, we will tell the hospital, you go ahead, we'll go and look for the money. But this must not stop. And that's what we are doing now. To pro bono credit facility to keep supporting these children. That's on the training. On the part of research, which is so important to do our work. We are as much as possible pushing research through our research program, publication of our papers. And today we've been partnering with organizations, international organizations that are opening up pediatric cancer in Nigeria. I can say today the Global Childhood Cancer Conference is coming to Nigeria in 2026. I mean, courtesy of all this pushing out, all this work that so it's been a lot, but the focal point of our work is the children. That is why we are here. So every other thing we are doing is to make sure that child gets the right treatment at the right time.
Let me go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
And that is.
Stay tuned. Your view will be
If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and for my jam results. So
my 20 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go.
That's all we can take.
I choose to stay.
Close the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, #1 Unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for #1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym so you're getting fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer,
you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the person you see some sports? That woman. Bam! Bam!
Yeah,
today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's catch up now.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay tuned. Your entertainment.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Brand new studio, brand new set, a new face, but still your favorite breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria.
It's a fresh new energy, new vibe. You smell that?
Now that's the smell of tasty, tantalizing food from our various chefs.
And when it comes to sports updates with insightful analysis, the place you want to be is Wake Up Nigeria.
That's right. Every second there's a fresh occurrence, and every minute there's a story to tell. Keep abreast of happening locally and internationally via the news updates of Wake Up Nigeria.
It's light camera fashion, where we strap, slay, and sachet and keep you updated with all the latest fashion trends.
Level up your morning.
Watch Wake Up Nigeria, where every morning begins with a spark.
Valentine's season is here and love is in the air. Guess what? Your View is kicking off 2025 with a bang, hosting our first ever live show on the 14th of February 2025 at the brand new TVC Communications Eco Atlantic Studios.
Thanks for staying with us. We still have with us our guest, Mr. Korede Akindele. We're talking about early detection. As you said, lots of parents are watching right now. They're saying, okay, how early is early? So you had shared a few success stories with us that you had a 22-year-old woman, young lady or woman, I would say is an adult, 18-year-olds, 2-year-old, 3-year. At what point should we begin to start suspecting where we need a tertiary intervention?
Okay, at the point where you are treating and you are not getting the result of what you want in your child. Everybody, okay, for example, we cite an example as an adult. I mean, you can even sit in this studio and be having a headache, and then you just go ahead, like life has to go on.
Yeah.
But for children, it's not like that. When your child is sick, it displays it, and then it doesn't fake it. Mommy, you touch the body, it's trying to take it, and at the point where you are not getting the result you want in your child as a parent, that is when it is.
Okay.
Not until, okay, it now becomes, but most times we don't talk out like, oh no, I just want to manage this thing. At a point, you are not getting the result. And that's why it's so important for you to pay attention to your child. You know your child. You know when this child plays. You know when this child is trying to stay hold to itself. Something is wrong. And you are going to your doctor, you're treating, it's not getting better. And that's why it's important to see a pediatrician for children. They know what is right. They know something is wrong. For example, there is a child who is a survivor now. His name is Perfect. Yes, Perfect. He has retinoblastoma. That's the cancer of the eye. And how did the parent? They didn't know anything about cancer before. They were just at home. There was light, and suddenly there was power outage, and his eye started looking like a cat eye. You know, in the dark, you should have a red retina. So his parents were like, what's this? What's going on? So let's take this child to an eye center. But by the time they get to an eye center, luckily, when the test was run, the doctor told them, something is wrong here. This is cancer. Wow. So they take the child to the tertiary, he went through the treatment. Today, Perfect is a survivor, doing amazing. Back to school. And so because the parents rise up early. So it's more of the responsibility of the parent on the child.
So I like... Sorry, Mary. The kids with you, what's the survival that have come through you? What's the survival rate? Is it like 50-50 or 80-50?
Okay, for the system, I mean, in this part of the world, Nigeria and then sub-Saharan Africa and African countries, it's not like the developed country whereby we have 80 to 90%, but in this part of the world, we are still around 40-30% survival rate. Yes, there are some cancers like Wilms tumor, which is nephroblastoma, cancer of the kidney. Yes, there are high rate of it, like 60%. But for us, I mean, it's still, survivor in this part of the world, is still doing around 40-30%.
So would you?
Due to several...
So those are the factors I was going to ask before she asked was, given a health system, you know, and dwindling numbers of doctors, you know, of everyone traveling away, lack of infrastructure. So the story you usually hear is like Nigeria is the last place you would want to have cancer. Like there's barely any intervention that you can get in Nigeria. But how has that worked for you? Because I believe that most of your the patients that you see get their treatment here in Nigeria. So how does that work?
Okay, yes. I mean, there has been underburden on the health systems, but luckily, I think people that work in pediatric oncology in Nigeria, let me just use the word, they are God-sent. They are passionate about the work they do, because it's not just about, just the glamour they want, but they just want to do the work. They just need the support to do their work. For example, in Lagos here, I know we have a dedicated center, and then we have a pediatric oncologist of different kind. I mean, TDCF alone is led by an oncologist who is a radiation oncologist, a pediatric radiation oncologist. So it's for us at our foundation, it helps us to say, I tell people we know what we are doing here, because we don't just refer before, when we see, we know. And so it's happening in the system, but we don't have the numbers where all the pediatric oncologists in Nigeria, they're like 70. And imagine 70 pediatric oncology dealing with over 200 million people. It's not enough. So the factors of the doctors dwindling are there, and that's why we're trying as much as possible to extend the knowledge across board. The knowledge to the pediatricians. No, they are not treating it, but they know it, and they could support these pediatric oncologists and say, you know what, these are things you could do. Just say this skin.
Does Doctors Foundation help children outside Lagos, or do people have to come into Lagos to get help from you?
No, we help people outside Lagos. All we need to do is to just make sure you are in the right place. Yes. That is it.
Wherever you are,
connect you to the right person. And most times this is not, people does not even need our financial support most times. It's just for them to say, please, you guys, who is the right place? And it might be just a little support. So
it's not just about money you provide, you also provide counsel to go to the right doctors.
If you have any questions, you can reach us. So our work is not just about providing finance. It's holistic, everything about childhood cancer in Nigeria.
Yeah, okay, but so I have two questions for you, right? First one is the fact that do you guys offer aftercare services? Because once after the whole care, surgery, everything, do you offer aftercare? Do they have medications that they have to take for a lifetime and all? And then secondly, I want to ask that so far, what are your challenges and how have you overcome some of these your challenges?
Okay, so talking about the aftercare, okay, for survivors, okay, one of the key things that we do is, okay, you've treated the child is a survivor, he needs to go back to school.
He needs
to go back to school.
Okay.
And now, that's another problem. So with that, we set up a project called Back to School.
Oh.
So for Back to School, all we do is we partner with schools. I mean, we have few schools and we are calling schools, people who have schools that just have a child with cancer, that survive cancer. So we partner with schools, some schools, and say, you know what, this children has gone to, just help us have this child tuition free. And then Dorcas tried to get partners to support every other things about the education. So to get the child back in school, we do as much as, even parents, they've sold everything, they've lost job, father has lost job. We try as much as possible and get, and some of the things we have even seen in this is, even what the father might even just need is somebody to just help them put their CV together. Because their mind has gone through a lot, they can't cooperate together. So somebody just give them advice, you know what, just do like this, and they are back.
Get a job.
And so so those are the after care. The child is a survivor. Back to school is to get them back to school.
Get the parents back.
An angel grant is to get the parents back on their feet. So it's we don't just stop and say we support the treatment, go. And we even try and even extend it even to their families and give them counselings and that's the work we are doing. Secondly, challenges, wow, it's there. It's there. I mean, it's one of the challenges is you want to help as many children that you want to help, but your finance cannot help everybody. But what we try to do is we touch every life. Even if we cannot we have program that takes over you, even if we cannot take everything 100%. About you 100%. TDCF, each time we go into the ward, we look at the child, what do you need? This is what we can do, at least to just relieve you. Okay, some of them stay strong, we are coming back. We'll get them. So that's the challenges are there.
Are there other sister foundations that do? Because sometimes it feels like there's so much work to be done. And there's not enough people. There are not many laborers to support this work. Because we know of cancer survivors, we know cancer treatments, but when it comes to child cancer, it's rather peculiar. So do you work with other people to support the work you do?
Yeah, we have few foundations that do childhood cancer in Nigeria, but we have a lot of people interest. I mean, we have other people like 2, 3, 4 people that we know do it, but I think in this part of the world, Lagos, TDCA, we have another people that, but TDCA, we have partners that also do it. But because it's our call, it's what it has gone more than just working, it has become a calling for us. This is what we want to do, this is what we wake up to every morning, and so that's why we go more than just one line. We find every other way to say every child must survive.
So your partners, are they just corporations? Are they just other NGOs? Or do you have like individuals who hear what you're doing and they're thinking, how can I participate and be a volunteer?
Okay, so our partners is everybody. From corporate to institutions, to religious centers, to individual. And this year, like I said at the beginning of our conversation, that our goal is to support every child that knocks on our door. And then we set up a project that we call the Zero Campaign.
The what?
Zero Campaign. What the Zero Campaign is doing that everyone can at least give at least 1,000 naira to save a child. At one minimum, at least.
Okay. So interesting. So I mean, I appreciate the work Dorcas is doing, and I think that's fantastic. Well, I mean, I know Nima has been on your I think she's part of your team, on your board, and she's been on this. She's been a serious advocate to help children who are living with cancer get some help, and I think that's one of the reasons why we wanted to bring you on the show, just to show a bit of support for your foundation. But I would like to know, where's the future for Dorcas Foundation? Where do you hope to go in the next? I mean, I know you've helped some children, but what do you hope to see? Give us some numbers. Let Nigerians see that there are X amount of children who are in sick of help, in need of help, and there are a lot of children out there that could do with Nigeria's support.
Our key goal is we want childhood cancer to at least have a survival rate of 80 to 90%. And that's our goal. That every child that has cancer in Nigeria, we can have a large pool of survivors, the way the global world is, and say these are a chunk of survivors.
So currently we are at about 40%.
Yeah, 40 to 80%.
And that's not a good
That's
figure.
not a good figure. And then for Dorcas Cancer Foundation, one day we have our own dedicated pediatric cancer center where children has the best care in the world.
Do kids, when you know, with a lot of adults, when they have cancer, it comes back again. With kids, is it like that or
relapse?
Yeah, there are relapses.
They do relapse.
Yeah, we have a child that we are dealing with now that has relapse. Yeah, so it's relapse do happen, and everything needs attention.
What kind of cancer does the child have?
How do you do it? To be so close to vulnerable children, and so how and why do you do it?
I think that's my story. I think for me, like I said, 8 years ago, I began this journey 8 years ago. I just wanted to get a job. And I woke up into a place called the Dorcas Cancer Foundation. I don't know, I'm walking into destiny. I'm walking into life. And today, looking 8 years, it has changed me. Yes, you can cry when you're on your way home and say, jeez. You can receive a call that touches your heart. But the goal is the child. There is something I tell myself every morning, because that child must live. So if I'm sitting here because I want somebody to know there's a child that needs to survive cancer.
So tell us a story about any of the children that pops up to your mind that you think that you'd like to share with us, a story of a particular child who you'd helped or maybe didn't make it or something.
Okay, I'm going to tell the two stories. I'll tell the good one and then the second one. So let me start from the Delta. That's what I use for negative stories. I have a child. There's a child, two child, Eliana. Very beautiful, amazing child. I got to meet her in the process of the walk, and I was so close. She had leukemia, and that period was when I think there was strike, doctor, something, resident doctor, and then she need to, for leukemia, you need transfusion. And I look at the way we get transfusion done for this girl. We will move from mainland to highland to get transfusion. Carried platelets on a bike. Then bike was still, I see the father, the mother, even my TDCF staff, everybody pushing through. I remember we had to carry the child from Lagos to Ogun State for transfusion, and she passed. So while we are standing and talking, the mother wanted to jump from the window of the hospital, like 3 stairs down. So somebody just looked back, and 3 people talking, we all just grabbed her. So for me, that moment was like, no, we have to do this. This is not a job, this is a calling. This is what you are called for. You are called to come and be a burden here. And it's been awesome. It's been fun. Yeah, the second story is Samuel. Yeah, Samuel is a survivor. Samuel is in school. He's in SS3 now. Wow. He has Wilms tumor. And each time I look at Samuel, each time I look at Inyolua, then it gives me joy that this is the result of my work. This is Bolu sitting down here.
Yeah, you came with Bolu. Bolu is in the studio.
So, I mean, it gives the joy of the work that I'm doing. Samuel is back to school. He's on school scholarship. In fact, it was in a school before, we changed his school because I think it was facing stigmatization in one of the schools, and then we changed his school. And each time Samuel is talking, he will say, I'm grateful because I was given opportunity for education and my school is changed. They changed my school. I could mix with people, I could talk. He's going to graduate soon. And luckily, he wants to be a pediatric oncologist.
Wow. Of course.
And for us, we are set to support him till he become that pediatric oncologist.
Beautiful.
Fantastic. Congratulations to you. I mean, that's very hard for me. I'm not sure anybody here is not crying. But I mean, I actually feel there's a shock with that when you hear you call out their names.
Yeah.
That means it's personal.
It's real.
Yeah. These are human beings, and I really hope that more children get an opportunity to be helped as you have done for others.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, that's all we can take.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming on our show today.
Thank you for giving us this privilege
we always do.
Every time. It means a lot to us at the foundation.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Nima is always on our case. Just bring about me. I know she's a major advocate for you guys, but definitely we'll do everything we can to support the work you do and see how we can also come and say hello to some of the children.
We're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to that.
That is all we can take on today's show. Hope you learned a few things as we have. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.